We're gonna go ahead and start recording this. We're gonna do, I don't know, we'll get through as many as I think we need to, but we're gonna get through some practice problems here. I know yesterday we did really well. I was really impressed with how well it went, but I do want you to also realize that we're gonna be adding some components to it. So today is building upon where we left off yesterday. So first things first, we got b squared plus 8b plus 7. Somebody raise your hand and tell me, what is the first step here? Tommy.
Multiply the h and c.
Good. A times c, which is going to give me a positive 7. Is everybody okay with that? Okay, what's my next step, Ian? Do you know?
You like write out all the ways.
We're going to list out all the factors. Now, fortunately for us, this is a prime number, and the only way that we can get 7 is 1 and 7 and negative 1 and negative 7. Do we all agree with that? Now, if my b term is positive, which one do you know I have to pick? The positive option. Well, 1 plus 7 does give me a positive 8. If I break the problem down, I'm going to have x plus 1, x plus 7. Easy enough, right? All right, I want you by yourself to try number 2. You by yourself, try number 2. Try number 2. You can't read it. It is n squared minus 11n plus 10. Again, that's n squared minus 11n plus 10. Just while I'm thinking about it, and this is no shade or anything like that, but if you are going to be applying for NJHS and you need me to fill out a form for you, I will be more than happy to do so, okay? If you are applying for NJHS and you need me to fill out a form for you, I will be more than happy to.
Where do we get the forms?
Couldn't tell you.
Miss Lord.
Oh, you're doing it? I won't sign one for you.
Huh?
Nothing. I'll be more than happy to sign one.
No, I said, where do you get the forms?
I know, then I made a joke, you didn't hear it, so then I backed down from my joke, and here we are, awkwardly explaining the joke.
You still haven't answered my question. Where do we get the forms?
I did answer your question. I said, I don't know. And
Oh.
JT turned around very politely and said, Miss Lord.
Oh, Miss Lord and Miss Hamilton.
That's what happened, right? Okay. Just making sure I wasn't delusional.
Miss Lord and Miss
All right, ready to talk about this one?
Yeah,
All right,
so-
Katie, what's step 1?
To multiply your a factor by your c.
Good. So we're going to end up with 10. All right, next we're going to list out all of our factors for this. So we're going to have 1 and 10. Thanks, Bennett.
And,
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much. Something else, Katie.
Wow, that was
That was very quick. All right, 1 and 10. 2 and 5. What about my negatives? What can I list for my negatives? All of those, right? Now, I can add all these together, but since my b term is a negative, what do I know about my answers? It's got to be negative as well, right? So I'm going to add these, and that's going to give me negative 11. This is going to give me negative 7, so therefore it has to be this one right here. If I list these out, we're going to have x minus 1 and x minus 10. Are we good there? All right, let's move on to some ones that have some values in front of our a. So I'm going to scroll on down. I think I got to go to the second page. And we are going to look at question 15. Question 15.
This number.
Question 15.
Oh, wow. That's a big number.
Now, before we jump into this problem, I want to kind of explain something that we haven't talked about yet. And so it might not be super clear, but it's something that I want to just kind of reiterate and discuss. We can factor out numbers from this problem. So like what I mean by that is all 3 of these numbers are even, right? All 3 of them are even, and that means that they're all divisible by what?
2.
By 2. So what we can do first is we can divide all 3 of those numbers by a 2 to make them get smaller. If I go over here, we can see that these are all done by 5, these are all done by 2, and so on and so forth. Not every single problem is going to be able to be divisible in that way. Not every problem can you factor numbers out of, but the ones that you can, it's going to make your life a whole heck of a lot easier if you break them down and get smaller numbers. Because our second step is to list out all those factors. Well, I don't know about you, but I don't want to list out all the factors for 108. That would take us about 2 minutes. That doesn't sound fun. So what we're going to do first is we're going to divide all of these numbers by 2. Is everybody okay with that? And when I divide all of these numbers by 2, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pull this 2 out to the side over here. We're going to come back to it here in a few minutes, but right now we're just going to leave it off to the side. Well, 2 divided by 2 is going to give me n squared. 6 divided by 2 is going to give me 3n. Negative 108 divided by 2 is going to give me negative 54.
Yep.
Negative 54. And so let's just stop and look at that for a second. Isn't negative 54 a heck of a lot easier than negative 108?
Yeah.
Okay, so that was the whole benefit to doing that step. Now we're going to just follow the exact same policy. We're going to do our a term times our c term, so we're going to get negative 54. We're going to list out these factors. So first of all, we got negative 1 times 54. What else could I have?
1 times negative 54.
Good, Evan, good. 1 times a negative 54. Excuse me. Hey, this favor. Hey, what's up? Yep. Anybody else? Alright, cool. I was on his way. Hey, Ben. Can you go to Miss Schneider and take the screener for me?
Yeah.
Oh, screener day.
And she said Ben.
What's up, Tommy?
I was gonna.
Oh, perfect. Ben, don't worry. You'll be fine. I'd rather get the screener done, though, okay?
Do I need my stuff?
Just go ahead and take it all with you now in case you don't finish, okay?
Okay.
Tommy, tell me, 2 and what?
Oh, I was gonna like say negative,
Yeah, good. Go for it.
negative 6 and 9.
Okay, negative 6 and positive 9, which also means positive 6 and negative 9. Are we all okay with that? Now, I want to just jump out and say something here. We could keep listing these out forever and ever and ever. Do we agree? But since Tommy jumped a little bit ahead and he gave us negative 6 and 9, can't I look at that and realize that if I add those together, I'm going to get a positive 3?
Yeah.
So the listing out factor is more of a guide. It's not necessarily a demand. See, Ben? Oh, sorry, I thought you were leaving. It's not necessarily something like I'm going to be checking off and be like, oh, Ryan didn't list all of them out, therefore it's wrong. If you can identify what it is without that step, then that's fine. And since Tommy went ahead and gave me the answer, I'm going to just take it from there. Are we okay with that?
Yeah.
All right, so now I'm going to have
See you, Ben.
n minus 6, n plus 9. Are we all okay with that? N minus 6, n plus 9. But then you've got to bring this 2 down. So our final answer, in spite of all my crazy writing everywhere, is 2 parentheses n minus 6 parentheses n plus 9. Okay, are we good there? And if you wanted to check your work, what you would do is you would still FOIL or box method this answer out to get your trinomial. And then at the end, you would just multiply that 2 back by it by distributing it. Yeah, Connor.
Wouldn't you, so you have your normal parentheses, but wouldn't you put parentheses around those and then put the 2?
I guess you could, yeah. It's probably not incorrect, yeah. I would take that, yeah. That's probably a more accurate answer because by putting these in parentheses, you're establishing that this has to be done first. But that just also seems a little unnecessary in my opinion, but yes, that would be fair.
Go back to everything.
Are we good? All right, cool. Why don't you try number 16?
Okay.
Try 16.
Okay.
So the only thing that we changed is that we're factoring numbers out of there. Just checking my email real quick.
self-conscious.
Nah, it's just it's easier to drink out of this one.
You just refill it.
Hmm?
You just refill it
Don't solve.
every time you
All right, ready to talk about it?
Yeah.
Good to go. Okay. What can I divide all these numbers by? By 5, right? 5, 5, 5. And then we're gonna have n squared plus 2n plus 4.
Yeah.
That gives me 4. We got 1 and 4, 2 and 2, -1, -4, -2, -2. Trying to get a positive 2 here.
It's unsolvable.
It's unsolvable.
That's what was confusion.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what do you think we do there?
But
Unsolvable.
unsolvable.
Can't solve it.
Insolvable.
Steven, will you scroll down and tell me what it says for the answer key on 16?
Mine says. I have to reload it. It says.
Mine says
Five
times
times
5 ends in second plus 2 n plus 4.
It just says that, right?
Yeah.
So here's what that means. When you factor that out, that is the simplest we can make it. So again, it can't be solved. So that is the simplest form. By factoring out those 5s, we've simplified it to its smallest section.
So we need to put that so unsolvable.
Well, so yeah, so what I'd like, Hayden, is after you realize that nothing's going to give you a positive 2, that's just your answer. Leave it like that. Yeah, Katie.
So why so we can divide it by 5, all of them, so just like.
Yeah, so I'm sorry you missed it when you were up in the office. So on this one we divided it by 2 just to make the number smaller, because since everything could be divided by 2, it was fair to do that. This, since everything can be divided by 5, it's also fair to simplify it that way. All right, let's try 17.
You okay back there?